Good morning, everybody. I'm going to call this my Sunday morning walkabout, even though it's a little later in the morning, and Beth and I already picked up a load of rice hay, and I've already been turning dirt in the garden, and so we've been at it already. But it's kind of clouded over. We had a few sprinkles, but so far that's it. So I'm going to do a walkabout here in the garden, let you see, and yeah, look at the mango, all the new growth. I should have, and look at this. Yeah, perfect proof that cutting off the wood, even when it's fairly thick, like right here, you're going to get a ton of new growth and coming out. I probably should have cut it back even farther than I did, but I was afraid to stunt it, and that so yeah, but some of the growth here again looking really positive in my mango trees, as you can see. I've been pulling up the plants here, already started turning the soil here. I tried turning it yesterday, full of fire ants, and I'll tell you, after you get stung 15-20 times, you kind of walk away and say, maybe I'll wait till later, let the sun beat down on them, and then they kind of escape. So I turned that over here just this morning. I'd like to finish these 2 rows here, but yeah, you got fire ants all over the place here. And of course, this is the row I've been working on this morning. As you can see, the other one on the other side of the fence here is done. I had peppers in here, and I'm pretty close to done here. Hopefully I'll get done a little bit down at the end there, and then back over here. Wow, and look at all the growth coming here. You can see the different colors in the leaves, and all coming out. You know, I took some pretty hefty cuts here with the wood, and as you can see, a matter of fact, I should cut off those 2 longer ones there, and really good growth. They're rooted real good, and this is the time of the season for them really to grow. As you can see here, every time I update you on this, there's just a little bit more, and these are really starting to come around, and it's pretty amazing sometimes. And you know, there's probably a couple different varieties when you see these huge leaves like this and then smaller leaves. It's kind of a hybrid mix. By doing, like I said, the 2 to 3 roots on the bottom here. But coming along really good, really good. And of course, here's right here, I had the beans planted, and we turned the soil, broke up the chunks, added the compost to it. And the same thing over here, where you still see the chunks in these rows. Of course, I haven't added compost yet. I'd really like them to get good and wet here, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this is going to continue. And Doro cleaned the pig house yesterday, and we dump it in here, we spread it out, put leaves on top of it, and you got about this far up here with the cow dung, and we got rice hulls in there, cow dung, rice hay. Yeah, looking good. It is definitely looking good. And my coffee trees here, as you can see, very nice looking, very healthy looking coffee trees. I'm real excited about the way they're coming. Of course, all this takes time. And again, right here, even though the the leaves down here at the bottom seem to be getting bitten up a little bit, and that may mean that there's something missing in the soil too. Generally a good sign for the proper leaf development. And of course my mango trees here, so much new growth you can't even see the old growth anymore, whatever little bit was left. Whew, I'm huffing and puffing. It hasn't been a long morning for me. And again, the coffee trees here. And again too, really nice growth. Some of the leaves, you know, towards the bottom there, I don't see any bugs, so it may be some kind of deficiency in the soil. Yep, but as you can see, they're generally doing really good. And of course the mango trees are just surpassing my wildest expectations, looking so good. Yeah, and isn't it amazing how new growth over here, the older growth, yeah, it's just like I said, you can really tell the different roots here. And where he grafted them together, 3 different roots here that are grafted together right in that thick spot right there, and you get really sometimes 2 seasons out of the tree. It's pretty amazing. Wow, here's a really nice coffee. Yeah, they're getting there, everything here. But I'm so glad I cut these down. Like I said, my pruning has been very successful, and if you're interested in dwarf mango trees and growing dwarf mangoes, you know, that's to be able to start pruning immediately. And again, my coffee trees up the line here, yeah, looking really good. Take a walk down here. And of course, our well here. You get to see the well. And as you can tell, I cleaned up both bean fields here and piled up, and that all goes back up. We'll cut that up and use that in compost. Yep. And the way it looks here, if I can get a good look at this, right there we ran into, the way it looks, some heavy duty rock, and going to chip away at it, and it almost looks like that blue rock. And wow, that could put a damper on our well here real quick. That's what we ran into in the other well we dug. We ran into that blue rock, and wow, like I said, almost impossible in order to chip that out, and so much work involved for the little bit of progress that you get. So we'll kind of have to see here. But so far, like I said, fairly good with the well here. Oh, but got to throw a wrench in there once in a while. And of course they came through, and I think Doro picked all bongo beans here, or at least some of them. We told him that he could have them all. I'm going to walk down here real quick. And of course, there's our old well, as you can see, running into that blue rock. Oh yeah, digging comes to a halt real quick when you run into that. There's just really no getting around. I was hoping to come up here and turn the soil here before we get any rain. Just not enough hours in the day, really, to do all the work sometimes that's got to be done here. So I'll do it. At least one nice thing, if we get a good rain, the water actually will sit in here and soak in the rice fields more so than it will on any of the sloped ground where it'll run off. And back down to what's left of our peppers, still growing and still maturing here. And of course, looking down at the pond, you can see how low it is. Oh boy, yeah, very low, very low. Wow, look at the peppers here. Still, even with all this heat, even though you can tell they're starting to dry up, and some of them are starting. I need to pick a couple of the peppers here, and tomatoes here. Wow, they're boy, everything just really needs some rain. So much growth as far as tomatoes, and all the bottom branches are basically withering and dying here. And hopefully, like I said, we'll get some more rain today. So that's kind of it for my walkabout. You know, the pineapple, that just keeps on growing. Like I said, I think it takes 2 years for the pineapple. But as you look down, you can see how low the water's getting. Like I said, by the end of the month here, if we don't get any good rain, the pond will be dry, and then we're going to be hauling water for the pigs and hauling water for us. So I'm going to walk up back towards the house and see if I can get this uploaded for everybody, so they can see my my Sunday morning walkabout again. Here's, like I said, this used to be completely jungle here, cleared it out, and now we just get a constant supply of dried leaves. It never ends here. Hard to make compost out of that unless you can keep it wet all the time, and that's very hard to do when it hasn't rained for a month and you really got no water. If we can ever sell the house in town and get this water situation settled, we can probably grow vegetables year round. You can see the load of rice hay I just brought in this morning, and we'll cut that up, and of course, like the bags right there, they'll go into the pig pen, and of course these are all leaves right here, and we'll be adding that along with the cut up rice hay and the pig dung to the compost rows here. We still got some bananas growing here. Looks pretty good, but even you can see the bananas are kind of stressing here too, because of just the extended dry period that we're in right now. It's just got to be hard on everything when you don't get rain for such a long amount of time as we're going through right now. So, well, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. I've gotten kind of long-winded again here. I kind of got to get used to that, I guess. So, from in back of the camera here, I'm going to say goodbye. Everybody have a real good Sunday, and God bless every one of you.